issues.
What's the one?
This is just for information. Here's your- that's the rest of it.
Okay? Running away.
Save you getting up
You ready?
again. I think so.
Are you ready? This meeting is called to order. Did you already check the door?
Yes, I just checked it.
I didn't know have the meeting going. I can't do it again. Roll call.
Cow,
Here.
Miller here.
Here.
Bradsett.
Here.
And me is here.
Approval of the minutes from January 12th, caucus on January 17th, and the special board meeting January 28th and February 3rd.
I'll move to approve the minutes
I'll
from
second it.
January 12th, January 17th, January 28th, and February 3rd.
I'll second that.
It's moved and seconded to approve the minutes of those 4 meetings. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Town board at this time would like to honor Stuart Calkins for 40 years of service to the town. I guess my understanding he was on the board of supervisors for about 25 years, and he was chairman for about 15 years.
Okay. I'd like to read the obituary for Mr. Calkins, and I'd like it entered into the minutes.
Okay.
And you can have this, put in the minutes.
Okay.
Stuart Edward Calkins, 85, died Thursday, January 8th, 2015 at Waukesha Memorial Hospital. Stuart was born into the hands of old Doc Dunn in Whitewater on July 28, 1929. Unfortunately, the good doctor was not known for his compassionate bedside manner, and when the expectant parents, Edward and Mary Jane Calkins, arrived at Doc's little hospital, he told Mary Jane that only a fool would have a baby on such a hot day. And when Stuart was born, he pronounced him the homeliest damn baby he's ever seen. Stuart was an only child. He grew up during the Great Economic Depression of the 1930s and World War II on the historic Knapp Calkins farm near Pelmyra, which his pioneer grandparents, Albertus and Polly Knapp, bought from the government in 1844. Stuart attended the local schools and graduated with the class of 1947 from Pelmyra High School. He then went to the University of Wisconsin's 2-year agricultural short course. When Stuart was 24, his father died and he took charge of the family farm where he lived for the rest of his life. He married Carol Pierce, a schoolmate and farm girl in the town of Eagle on May 6, 1955. They enjoyed 59 years together in the big brick Calkins home on State Highway 59 where they raised 3 daughters. Stuart loved his family, his friends, and his community, and always was willing to help those in need. For example, he never complained during the many years he helped his mother-in-law, Clara Pierce, continue to live in her farm home until she was 98. He was a lifelong member of the Pelmyra United Methodist Church and its men's club. He was a loyal member of the local Masonic Lodge for over 50 years, serving several times as the master. He also found time to serve on the Jefferson County ASCS committee for 30 years, retiring in 1991. Stuart served the town of Pelmyra for 40 years, 14 as a supervisor and 26 as chairman, retiring in 2013. His motto was to keep the township roads up and the people's taxes down. Stuart and Carol belonged to several local historic societies, and they were honored in 2001 as the Pelmyra Old Settlers that year at the annual picnic in July. In 1990, he wrote a booklet for the Pelmyra Historical Society titled Room and Board and $1 a Day that told of the many interesting men that worked on the hired men that worked on the Calkins farm during the 1930s and 1940s. Stuart served as treasurer for the local Hillside Cemetery Association, bowled for many years in Whitewater, and later, in his later years, could be found at the House in the Woods auctions near Eagle or having breakfast at the Edge of Town restaurant with his friends. And here was a poem that was put in by Nancy. Here's to Dad, a beautiful life that came to an end. He died as he lived, everyone's friend. In our hearts a memory will always be kept of one we loved and we'll never forget.
Thank you. maybe tonight's a night for poetry, and I had a poem I wanted to read because I thought it described Stuart better than anything I could think of. It says, "The roses red upon my neighbor's vine were owned by him, but they are also mine. His was the cost, and his the labor too, but ours as well as his the joy, their loveliness to view. They bloom for us, and are for us as fair as for the man who gave them all his care. Thus we are rich, because a good man grew a rose-clad vine for all his neighbors' view." And I don't think anyone could have asked for a better neighbor than Stuart was to all of us. Thank you.
I have just one story that was given out at his funeral. Why Stuart was so honest when he was a little kid, I don't know, 5, 6 years old. They went to the store and he wanted his dad to buy him a harmonica. Well, he didn't get the harmonica, and they're riding home in the car, and all of a sudden he's playing this harmonica. So Stuart had to go back to the store and give the harmonica back, and he learned a valuable lesson. Or at least he should have learned not to play the harmonica. Treasurer's report.
General fund has $162,906.37. The tax account has $796,530.61. And most of that will be dispersed here this week for the settlements. Airport has $31,642.50. LGIP has $72,296.57. The LGIP EMS has $2.62, and the LGIP airport account has 55 cents in it. Checks that were written this month were $54.83 to We Energies for the lights, street lights, $79.50 for the Daily Jefferson County Union for the spring election ad that we ran back in November, $200 to Big East for cleaning debris off the road. That was a late bill that didn't get to us until I think first week in January. Vendor Levi and Larson for the town legal services, $253.50. Stafford Rosenbaum annexation legal services for $2,446.50. CenturyLink, the phone and internet, $136.36. We Energies for the building, there's $443.43. The IRS fourth quarter Social Security and Medicare taxes, $937.13. Humane Society of Jefferson County, the annual fee was $2,893.84. IRS, the FUTA, which is federal unemployment, something else tax we had to pay, that was $125.29. Wendy Dunbar, we paid $291.70, and she held state withholding out of her checks all year long, and we didn't have an ID number with the state to do that, so we wrote her a check for that amount that she held out of her checks, so she can pay her state taxes with it. The Village of Palmyra Fire Protection is $20,963.38. Larry Kaw salary, $369.40. William May clerk salary, $1,154.37. Vendor Levi and Larson legal services, $2,501.37. The majority of that was sometime in December. Apparently the checks were going to the wrong address, and I didn't get them until this morning. And advanced disposal was $7,621.31. That's went up about $90, and I wasn't aware it was going to be going up, but it went up about $90. And I assume it's going to be that rate for the rest of the year, so we'll end up spending another $1,000 or so for garbage pickup. And that's all I have.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the treasurer's report. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Emergency management plan,
Nothing to report.
fire department,
Nope, haven't gotten a report.
airport. You have something? You have something?
Well, Don
Commissioner?
asked me to
Okay.
mention that all the hangars are leased out. He's got the checks for all of them. And everything is ready to go with the, I don't know, are there planes in all of them yet, or any of them? You know
Explains
that?
some of them.
So it's in use.
You have anything to say?
No, I think he covered it.
Did you have more other people, more than 8 people buying the lease?
There were inquiries.
Yeah, I mean, we have a handful of people beyond the 8 that could fill it or could come here, you know. Like he said, inquiries, where there's people like, well, you know, if there's one open, let me know. I just had one tonight. So, guy was like, hey, this is a great hangar. He was over at my hangar, so. It's like, there's any of these open? I said, I don't think so. I'll put you on the list.
$100,000 a plan, it should be pretty great.
Yeah.
Blue Spring Lake District?
Nothing that I know of. Dick, do you know of anything new?
Building inspector?
Nothing.
Nothing. Highway?
I didn't get any calls on the big snow, so you must have did okay last week.
You have my compliments for keeping the weather under control.
Yeah, right. Otherwise, we had a lot of little ones in January, you know, 1 inch, 2 inches in January.
I did want to make one more comment about the airport. Last month, the commission had its first meeting, and the minutes will be posted on the website. Bill's going to post one on the website. We have the minutes completed.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Correspondence?
Okay. Three of these from the zoning and land use permit applications. This is Robert Metzendorf. He's says replacement only, about 2,000 square foot at $18,000. It says attached garage and residence. No expansion of something, no new bedroom, only within the existing frame or footprint. And Donald Novotny, and he's I'm not sure what he's doing. It's about 700 square foot for an existing vacation home. He's done $85,000 worth of renovations. And Mary Beth Bauer is doing a conversion on a one room in her house. She's taking a 3-season porch and making a 4-season porch out of it. And this, you must have sent this in. They give you a new number, fire number, N2463 on Highway 106 for must be your son and daughter-in-law. So that came in. And if you need a copy of that, I'll give you one.
Okay.
State of Wisconsin shared revenue and tax relief sent us a check for $103.28. Didn't know that was coming, but, and if anybody wants to see this, this is all about, this is from the Department of Natural Resources, DNR. It's all about e-cycling, and it's in a DVD and a bunch of information on how to e-cycle, if anybody's interested in it.
Okay. Did you look at it? I'll take a look at it. I know the village has e-cycling. They have a couple of dumpsters, don't they?
They closed it.
They did close it?
Yeah.
Where they were at the
Closed
dumpsters?
permanently.
Really?
There's a real nice site in Jefferson. I can't think of the name of the street.
I don't know the name of the street, but it's back by the city.
By the city.
City department back toward the sewage disposal plant.
Yeah,
And
back
it's
on the
open.
south end of town.
Yeah, you would turn just before the.
You can
old-
take,
Yeah.
It's listed on all of those little pamphlets sitting right back there.
Yeah, and it's like a semi box and you just back up to it and put your stuff in there. It's open every day.
there's pamphlets there.
Anything with a plug on it.
If you, anything with a plug on it, there's an address on those pamphlets to take e-waste.
I do have a quick question. Do we need to order a fire number for this? Sign for this new number?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
and we also need to order a sign for Truin Lane.
Do you have the number?
It's a road sign,
Oh, road sign
the
for.
name of the road.
T-R-A-W-Y-N,
Yep.
Lane.
T-R-A-W.
E.
T-R-E-W.
E-W-Y-N.
The
Lane.
Lane.
person that lives back there said people keep going down it thinking it's Hooper Road or something.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is that it?
That's all I have.
Discussion and, new business, discussion and action on a request by Bradford to respond to certain correspondence.
We got an email, and I assume that you guys got it too. I sent you a copy of my response, but I'll just read it so we're clear on what it is. This was something that was sent to Karen Jeske on December 29th, and she emailed it to Bill and said send it to the town board on January 20th. And it's a letter from Barry and Irene Blaskowski to Mr. Dubois and Ms. Jeske, and I'll just read it so my response is clear. If you guys are willing for me to send a response. I thought I should ask because I don't want this to be seen as coming from the board, since it was sent to the board, if you're not comfortable with me sending it. So, dear Mr. Dubois and Ms. Jeske, we are writing to you to say that it is very unfortunate the way the past and current town boards of Palmyra treat your business. We are town residents of almost 18 years and hate to see you leave the township. However, we do not blame you whatsoever for your annexation request based on business and community growth. It would be wonderful to grow the Palmyra Industrial Park to its fullest extent, and we believe by your action it may happen in the future. We applaud your community involvement as an employer and your numerous donations to various community causes. It's too bad our town board doesn't see it this way. We've been attending monthly town board meetings on a regular basis since 2009. We are quite tired of the us versus them mentality between the town and village boards, as well as treating you as the evil corporation. Our hope is that someday we can all work together to make our lovely area a caring and cooperative community between both municipalities and businesses. It is a long, tough road, and we know it can be achieved with positive attitudes, hard work, and mutual cooperation. We just have to be persistent and never give up. We will continue to try and make positive changes within our local government whenever possible. To date, our town board has made no mention to us as to how they plan to make up the property tax loss should the annexation pass, nor do we believe they have the foresight to even consider this. They appear to be too focused on lawsuits and frivolous spending of our tax dollars on wasted lawsuits for no apparent gain to the taxpayers. If detachment for the other property owners is an option, there should be no thought about any civil suits whatsoever on behalf of the town. Just our opinion. With that being said, we wish you all the best and hope the annexation passes in your favor and everything works out the best for all involved. With sincerest regards, Irene and Barry Blaskowski. So this was my response. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Blaskowski, I am in receipt of your letter to standard process dated December 29th, 2014, which Ms. Jeske was kind enough to forward to the Palmyra Town Clerk on January 19th, 2015, with a request for him to forward it to the town board. I believe that there is one issue mentioned in the letter that I might be able to clarify for you. It appears that you are concerned that the town board has not publicly addressed the issue of how the lost property tax will be made up should the annexation, which you say you support, occur. This is dictated by statute. If you care to Google 2014 Guide for Property Owners, you will find a document from the Department of Revenue that might be helpful for you to understand how property taxes are determined. I know that you have attended town board meetings faithfully, and I commend you for this. So you are no doubt aware that the lion's share of town tax money for the past 2 years has been spent to repair Tamarack Road, the road on which you reside. I am sure you also understand that the town's share of your entire back tax bill is rather small compared to the whole. The loss of standard process's share of tax paid to the town, approximately $4,110, will result in everyone else's share rising, but your entire tax bill will not rise by a huge amount, since the county share will diminish a bit because losing standard processes buildings at the farm location will lower the town valuation. Of course, should the annexation which you support go forward, and the village choose to create a TIF district for the newly annexed land where Standard Process has facilities, the portion of their tax now being paid to support our schools will need to be made up by the rest of the folks in the Palmyra Eagle School District. By far the greatest portion of our taxes goes to support schools. As you no doubt remember, at the town budget hearing in the fall of 2013, several town citizens, you included if I remember correctly, were successful in lowering the town mill rate by approximately $30,000. In addition to that, the then clerk treasurer apparently made a mistake and lowered it an additional $30,000. These figures are approximate. This left the town in a situation of not being able to do as much road repair as we would have liked. I am sure that your community spirit wishes the same consideration for your fellow town residents that has been provided for you. Hopefully, we will be able to continue repairing roads in 2015, but we will not know until winter has left us and we know how much we have had to spend on snow removal. If I've not answered your concern about how we will make up for the loss of tax from the annexation which you support, please feel free to telephone me and I can try to answer any specific questions you may have. If I do not have the answer, I will be happy to try to find someone who does. Sincerely, Winona Brass.
So when am I supposed to be getting this
So if
letter?
you guys are willing, we're having a meeting right now, it's not public comment, right?
Right.
What was that?
Maybe at 10.
Was that public comment or is that coming from the board?
There's no public comment tonight.
I'm talking to.
This was an agenda.
No, I'm asking what, if that was public comment.
It was an
I am
agenda item.
talking to the president.
It's an agenda
Chairman.
item.
I'm not talking to you.
Good.
I'm asking Larry.
He's out of order.
It was an agenda item. It was the first item of new business on the agenda. Discussion and action for a request by Catherine Hobart for bartender's license.
Are we gonna act on this? Is it okay with you if I present this to her? Cross election.
Give me a motion.
I'll make a motion to present that to Mrs. Laskowski and Mr. Laskowski.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to give them that letter. What is it exactly?
Well, just a response to
Okay.
the inquiry.
Yep. It's been moved and seconded. Give them your response. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next item of new business. Discussion and action request by Catherine Hobart for bartender's license.
Yeah, she came in about a week and a half ago and she works down at the Rushing Waters or Trout House, whatever it's called down there, and applied for a license. And she's attended the bartender school. She sent me her certificate. I did a background check on her through CCAP and found nothing in Wisconsin. I did find a DUI in 2000 in Savannah, Georgia, which she also acknowledged on her sheet here. There's nothing else in there that would prevent her from having a bartender's license.
Motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the request by Catherine Hobart for a bartender's license.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the request of Catherine Hobart for a bartender's license. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Discussion and action for replacement of room heaters at the town hall. I just noticed that the electric bill at the town hall is very high, it's over $400. I know the airport is on that, but I just wanted authority from the board to investigate this. According to my research, these electric registers were put in about 1980, and I'd like the board to authorize me to just have someone come in and look and see if they could be replaced with some that are more efficient. I know somebody that replaced their units with newer ones, and they said they saved about $100 a month on their electric bill. So,
I'll make a motion authorizing Larry Caw to find somebody to check out these heaters.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded to take action against the room heaters. All in favor? Aye. Motion carried. Discussion and action on resolution number 2014-06, outlining duties of the clerk.
I'd like to make a motion to redo or change the resolution from 2014-06. Because things have changed, we have a new clerk now. And I can just read the resolution, would probably be the easiest way. If I get a second to do it.
Second.
It's moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Do it.
Whereas the town of Palmyra passed resolution 2014-06 regarding duties of the town clerk at its August regular town board meeting, and whereas it has recently been discovered that there were thereafter emails from the electorate to the town clerk objecting to resolution 2014-06, now therefore be it resolved that resolution 2014-06 is rescinded in its entirety.
Move to pass this resolution.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to rescind resolution 201406. And you're gonna, okay, so it's, the motion is to rescind it, correct?
Correct.
To adopt this resolution.
To
And
adopt
to
this
adopt
resolution.
201502.
201502.
2015, okay, so the motion is to rescind 201406 and adopt 201502. It's been moved and seconded. So that's, we're going to vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? No. Motion carried. Motion.
Before we do that, I'd like to have you authorize the clerk to send in for the Towns Association meeting, the district meeting, the end of February. And post it.
Posted.
When is it? February 6th? No, not 6th.
It's the last Saturday,
28th,
You two are going? So that,
probably.
probably.
that needs to
Where
be-
is it?
It's supposedly at Randy's, I don't know if they're gonna be open yet or not.
You'll have to post
I will
it.
call the Towns Association tomorrow and see if, for sure, if it will be there.
Okay, you just gotta let him know, so he's gotta post that you're going.
And send in the
Send in the fees.
fee.
for the-
Okay.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.